Community workers in a remote Australian town are calling on the state government to step up efforts to help its ageing migrant population. The opal mining centre of Lightning Ridge is said to be home to around 50 different nationalities, and many of those who arrived to find fortune in the 1960s and 70s still live in camps along its mining fields.
On this dusty outback road, Mio Matanovic lives a life of solitude. After injuring himself during construction of the Sydney Opera House, he moved to Lightning Ridge, a town famous for its opal mines and its great artesian hot springs.
This is a very good, healthy place. I've noticed it's been good for the body and everything else to live here. And the water helps.
Mr Matanovic lives in a camp he built with his two sons, in an area where they hold claims to mine for opal. Amid the piles of overturned earth live clusters of migrants with similar stories.
A lot of these people came in the 60s, 70s, mostly people who have worked on big projects in their youth, like the Snowy Mountains, the Dartmouth Dam project. And when they have finished their job, they came to Lightning Ridge to look for the big fortune. But then the years went by and a few found a fortune and most of them didn't. A lot of them didn't provide for the old age and live now on the fields.
A former miner herself, Anna Vastag, has spent the last decade as a migrant support worker. More recently, she's been helping arrange paperwork and doctor's appointments through an interim service set up using spare funds from another community group. But with the money now spent, the service has no choice but to close its doors.
I am worried there is a huge gap now in the services for these people. They are isolated. A lot of them are alone. They don't have family support. They're getting older and they have more need for care. Who do they turn to?
Ms Vastag is now lobbying the state government to create a new migrant worker position here and approve more aged care units. In a statement, the New South Wales Multicultural Ministry says it's in the process of reviewing Ms Vastag's concerns. They also say annual funding is provided to a nearby neighbourhood centre, but staff there say they're ill-equipped to help many of the migrants.
A lot of them don't like to sort of talk to somebody when it's not in their own language, and they don't always understand what we're trying to tell them and vice versa. They will probably become even more isolated than what they are, and I'm frightened some of them are going to end up by dying out in the camps and nobody will find them.
A big factor in deciding how much money should go towards certain services is the census. In 2011, the count put Lightning Ridge's population at around 2,500, but Ms Vastag says that doesn't include the people who live in the camps and other isolated areas. Depending on the time of year, she says the number could be as high as 8,000, leading to many community services being further stretched. Peter Preradovic has been living in Lightning Ridge for nearly 20 years, but arthritis and poor circulation in his legs means he can no longer mine. He says Ms Vastag's services have been vital for people like him.
When I buy this property, she do all papers for me because I'm not writing English or reading, and she helped me so much. They'll close the office. A lot of people will be sorry.
I will still volunteer and help out wherever I can, but that is not solving anything.
A community hoping for better news in the new year. Manny Tsigas, SBS World News.